balance dip, and then recover as my paycheck from the civil engineering firm comes through. Every month, I tell myself this is what family does. The math is simple. 9 years, 12 months each, $2,900 per cycle. That totals $330,200. More than $250,000 funneled into maintaining a house where I do not live, for people who have never once said thank you. I did not start this arrangement out of duty. I started it out of crisis. 9 years ago, Dad had a health scare. Hospital bills stacked up. Retirement savings took a hit. Mom called me in tears and I stepped in. I set up the automatic transfers. I told them it was temporary, just until they got back on their feet. But temporary became permanent. Permanent became expected. Expected became invisible. My sister Amanda never contributed a dime. She lives 4 states away with her husband and their 8-year-old son, Kyle. She visits twice a year, always with expensive luggage and stories about their latest vacation. Mom and Dad beam when she walks through the door. They hang on every word. They frame photos of Kyle and place them on the mantle like trophies. My daughter Emma is 6. She has her own shelf in the hallway. Not the mantle, the hallway. The difference is small but deliberate. I noticed it 2 years ago during Christmas. I brought Emma to their house with a gift we had wrapped together. She handed it to Mom with both hands, her face glowing with excitement. Mom took it, smiled briefly, and set it aside. Then Amanda walked in with Kyle, and suddenly the room exploded with energy. Hugs, laughter, questions about school, sports, friends. Emma stood beside me, holding my hand a little tighter. That was the moment I understood. My role in this family was not son or father, it was function. I was the emergency contact, the auto payment system, the backup plan nobody acknowledged until something broke. But I stayed. Quiet, I kept the payments going. I told myself that maybe if I just kept being dependable, they would see me, really see me. Tonight is Thanksgiving. Emma and I are getting ready to drive over. She is wearing the yellow dress we picked out last week. Her hair is tied back with a ribbon. She keeps asking if Grandma will like the pie we made together. I tell her yes, even though I know Mom will probably set it aside and serve the store-bought one Amanda always brings. Emma looks up at me with those wide, trusting eyes. She does not know yet that love in this family is conditional, that approval is reserved for certain people, that invisibility is inherited. I grab the keys, I grab the pie, I grab my daughter's hand, and I drive us toward the house that I pay for, where I will sit at the table like a guest. We arrive at 4:47 p.m. The driveway is already crowded. Amanda's rental car is parked closest to the door. I park at the curb, a block of distance that feels symbolic. Emma skips ahead, clutching the pie. I follow with the tension already building in my chest. The house smells like roasted turkey and sweet potatoes, the kind of warmth that should feel like home, but instead feels like performance. Mom opens the door. She hugs Amanda first, then Kyle. Then she notices Emma. "Oh, hello, sweetie," she says. Her tone is polite but distracted. She takes the pie from Emma without looking at it and hands it to me. "Just set that in the kitchen, Trevor." I set the pie on the counter next to 3 others. Ours is homemade, imperfect, made with love. The others are pristine, store-bought, arranged like props. Dinner is loud. Amanda dominates the conversation. She talks about Kyle's soccer league, his grades, his upcoming birthday party. Mom and Dad nod along, asking follow-up questions, laughing at every small joke. I sit at the far end of the table with Emma beside me. She eats quietly, occasionally glancing at Kyle, who is showing everyone a drawing he made at school. I try to join the conversation once. I mention a project I am working on, a bridge redesign that could improve traffic flow in the county. Dad nods without looking up from his plate. Mom says, "That's nice, Trevor," and then turns immediately back to Amanda. Emma tugs on my sleeve. "Dad, can I show them my drawing too?" I hesitate. I know what will happen, but I also know I cannot rob her of hope. "Sure, sweetheart, after dinner." After dinner, we move to the living room. This is when the pie comes out. Mom carries a tray with 7 slices. There are 8 people in the room. Me, Emma, Amanda, her husband, Kyle, Mom, Dad, and Amanda's husband's brother, who showed up unexpectedly. Mom starts handing out plates. Kyle gets the first slice. Amanda gets the second. Her husband gets the third. The brother gets the fourth. Dad gets the fifth. Mom keeps the sixth for herself. Emma is sitting on the floor near the coffee table, her drawing in her lap. She looks up expectantly. Mom looks right past her. She walks over to Kyle and hands him a second slice. "You worked so hard at soccer this season," she says. "You deserve a little extra." Kyle grins. "Thanks, Grandma." Emma's face falls. She looks at me, confused. I open my mouth to say something, but before I can, Mom's voice cuts through the room. "Emma didn't earn dessert after ruining the photos." The room goes silent. Everyone stares. Emma's eyes well up with tears. She does not understand. Earlier today, Mom had insisted on taking a family photo. Emma had been excited. She had stood in the front row, smiling wide. But she had moved just as the camera clicked. The photo was blurry. Mom had sighed loudly and said, "Well, that's ruined." She had not taken another. Now in front of everyone, Mom is punishing her, a 6-year-old child, for moving during a photo. Amanda laughs nervously. "Mom, she's just a kid." Mom waves her off. "She needs to learn. Actions have consequences." I stand up. I do not raise my voice. I do not argue. I simply reach down and take Emma's hand. "We're leaving," I say. Mom looks surprised. "Trevor, don't be dramatic." I do not respond. I walk Emma to the door. She is crying now, quiet sobs that break my heart. I kneel down and wipe her tears. "It's okay, sweetheart. We're going home." She nods, clutching my hand tighter. We walk out the door. I do not look back. I hear Mom calling after me, her voice irritated, as if I am the one being unreasonable. I buckle Emma into her car seat. She is still crying. I tell her she did nothing wrong. I tell her she is perfect. I tell her Grandma made a mistake. But inside I am done. I drive home in silence. Emma falls asleep in the back seat, and I think about every automatic payment I have made for 9 years. I think about every time I was ignored. Every time Emma was sidelined. Every time I told myself this was just how family worked. By the time I pull into my driveway, I am not sad anymore. I am calm. Emma is asleep in her room. Her yellow dress is folded neatly on the chair. The ribbon is still in her hair. I sit on the edge of her bed and watch her breathe. Her face is peaceful now, but I remember how it looked 3 hours ago. Confusion, hurt, shame she did not deserve. I close her door quietly and walk to my own room. The apartment is silent, except for the hum of the refrigerator. I sit on the edge of my bed and stare at my phone. No missed calls, no texts, no one checking if Emma is okay. No one asking if I made it home safely. I think about the moment Mom handed Kyle that second slice of pie. I think about the way she smiled at him. I think about the way she looked right through Emma as if she were not even there. And I think about the $2,900 that will leave my account in 2 weeks, like clockwork, like a machine, like I am nothing more than a transfer system for people who cannot be bothered to remember my daughter's name. I open my banking app. I scroll through the automatic payments, electricity, water, gas, internet, security system, HOA fees, insurance, all scheduled, all consistent, all invisible. I close the app. I do not make any changes. Not yet. I lie back on the bed and stare at the ceiling. There is a crack running from the corner to the light fixture. I have been meaning to fix it for months. I keep putting it off. I keep prioritizing other people's problems. The anger I feel is not hot. It is not explosive. It is cold. It is methodical. It is the kind of anger that builds slowly over years and then crystallizes into clarity. I do not want to yell. I do not want to argue. I do not want to explain why what happened tonight was wrong. If they do not already know, then no amount of words will teach them. I think about Emma, about the way she looked at me in the car, about the way she asked if Grandma was mad at her, about the way she apologized for moving during the photo. She apologized. A 6-year-old child apologized for being a child. I close my eyes. I take a deep breath. And I make a decision. I will not confront them. I will not demand an apology. I will not beg them to see Emma the way they see Kyle. I will simply stop being the invisible support system they take for granted. I think about all the times I told myself I was helping, all the times I justified the payments, all the times I convinced myself that being dependable was the same as being valued. It was not. I opened my eyes. The crack in the ceiling is still there. I will fix it tomorrow. Tonight, I am going to sit here and let the silence settle. I am going to think about what comes next. I am going to plan. Because the thing about being dependable is that people forget you are also capable of walking away. And when you have been holding something up for 9 years, people do not realize how much they needed you until you let go. I checked my phone one last time. Still no messages. I set it on the nightstand and turn off the light. Tomorrow I will wake up and make Emma breakfast. I will tell her she is loved. I will tell her she is enough. And I will start building a life where she never has to question that again. But tonight I sit in the dark and let the quiet unravel everything I thought I owed them. Emma's at school. I took the day off work. I told my boss I needed a personal day. He did not ask questions. I have been with the firm for 12 years and have never used more than 3 sick days in a row. My dependability extends beyond family. I sit at my desk with my laptop open. In front of me is a yellow legal pad. I have always been a planner. Civil engineering trained me to think in systems, load-bearing structures, points of failure. What happens when you remove a critical support? I start listing every payment I make to my parents' household. I do not rely on memory. I pull up 9 years of bank statements. I create a spreadsheet. Column A, service. Column B, provider. Column C, monthly cost. Column D, account login. Column E, cancellation method. Electricity, $287 per month. Account in my name. Auto pay for my checking. Water and sewage, $156 per month. City utility, linked to my credit card. Natural gas, $198 per month. Same provider as electricity, same auto pay. Internet and cable, $312 per month. Premium package, fastest speeds, every streaming service. Home security system, $89 per month. Monitored 24/7, linked to my phone as primary contact. Property insurance, $615 per month. I am listed as an additional insured. They are listed as residents, HOA fees, $143 per month. Their gated community, monthly auto draft. I added up, $2,900 per month, $34,800 per year. Over 9 years, $313,100. I sit back and look at the numbers. $250,000, enough for a down payment on a house, enough to fund Emma's college education halfway through, enough to take her on a vacation every year of her childhood. Gone, into a system that never once acknowledged I existed. I think about last night, about the pie, about the way Mom's voice sounded when she said Emma did not earn dessert, about the way no one defended her, about the way Amanda laughed. I open the first account, electricity. I navigate to the auto pay settings. My finger hovers over the cancel button. I do not press it yet. I just stare at it. Then I think about Emma's face, and I click. Auto pay canceled. Confirmation email sent. I move to the next account. Water, same process. Cancel, confirm. Gas, cancel, confirm. Internet, cancel, confirm. Security system. I pause here. This one requires a phone call. I dial the number. A customer service representative answers. I explain that I need to cancel monitoring services. She asks if I am sure. I say yes. She processes the request. Effective immediately. Insurance. I call the agent. I explain that I need to remove myself from the policy and stop payments. He asks if the residents have alternative coverage. I say that is not my concern. He hesitates. I repeat my request. He agrees. Cancellation effective end of billing cycle. 2 weeks. HOA fees. This one is trickier. The payment is scheduled for the first of every month. Today is the day after Thanksgiving. The next payment is in 6 days. I log into the HOA portal. I find the auto pay setting. I cancel it. No confirmation email. Just a red message. Payment method removed. I sit back. My hands are shaking. Not from fear, from relief. I look at the spreadsheet. Every row now has a red X in the final column. Status, canceled. I close the laptop. I fold the legal pad. I walk to the kitchen and make coffee. I stand at the window and watch the cars go by. Somewhere, 4 hours away, my parents are going about their day. They do not know yet. They will not know until the first bill bounces, until the lights flicker, until the internet cuts out mid-show. I think about calling them, explaining, giving them a chance to apologize. But I know how that conversation would go. Mom would say I am overreacting. Dad would say I am being dramatic. Amanda would tell me to just let it go. None of them would mention Emma. None of them would admit what they did was wrong. So I do not call. I finish my coffee. I check the time. Emma's school day ends in 4 hours. I will pick her up. I will take her for ice cream. I will tell her she is the best thing in my life. And I will not think about the auto-pay architecture I just dismantled. Not yet. Emma is asleep again. We spent the afternoon at the park. She played on the swings. She laughed. She did not mention Thanksgiving. I did not bring it up. We ate pizza for dinner. We watched a movie. We built a blanket fort in the living room. By 8:30, she was asleep inside it, her small body curled around her favorite stuffed rabbit. I carried her to her bed. I tucked her in. I kissed her forehead. And now I am sitting on the couch, my phone in my hand, waiting. I know the text is coming. It always comes on the last day of the month, like clockwork, a reminder, a demand disguised as a casual check-in. At 10:12 p.m., my phone buzzes. Dad, send the utility money before midnight. No greeting, no mention of Thanksgiving, no apology, just a transaction request. I stare at the screen. My first instinct is to type a response, to explain what I did, to tell him why, to list every payment I have canceled, to detail every moment of neglect, to describe Emma's face when Mom denied her that slice of pie. But I do not. I open my banking app instead. I navigate to the scheduled transfers. All of them are marked as canceled. I take a screenshot. Then I open the utility account logins one by one. Electricity, water, gas, internet, security. I take screenshots of the cancellation confirmations. I save them all in a folder labeled Evidence. Then I set my phone down. I do not reply to Dad's text. Midnight comes, midnight passes. My phone stays silent for 23 minutes. Then, at 12:23 a.m., it starts. Mom, Trevor, did you send the payment? I do not respond. Mom, the auto pay didn't go through. I do not respond. Dad, Trevor, I need you to call me, now. I turn my phone to silent. I set it face down on the coffee table. I walk to the kitchen. I pour myself a glass of water. I stand at the sink and drink it slowly. When I return to the couch, my phone screen is lit up. 12 missed calls, 7 text messages. I pick it up. I read them. Mom, this is not funny. Call me back. Dad, I don't know what game you're playing, but we need that money tonight. Amanda, Mom says you're ignoring them. What's going on? Mom, Trevor, the payment didn't process. Fix this. Dad, if you're mad about Thanksgiving, we can talk, but don't mess with our bills. Mom, this is childish. Amanda, seriously, just send the money. Don't drag this out. I set the phone down again. I do not feel guilty. I do not feel anxious. I feel calm. I feel clear. At 1:47 a.m., the calls stop. I assume they have given up, but at 2:03 a.m., my phone buzzes again. Dad, I just tried to log into the electric account. It says the auto pay is canceled. Did you do that? I smile, not a big smile, just a small, quiet acknowledgement that the reality is starting to sink in. I do not reply. At 2:19 a.m., another text. Mom, Trevor, this isn't a joke. We need the electricity on. It's cold. At 2:34 a.m. Dad, I'm calling the utility company in the morning. This is ridiculous. At 3:02 a.m. Amanda, Mom called me crying. What did you do? I set the phone on airplane mode. I go to my room. I lie down in bed. I close my eyes. And I sleep better than I have in 9 years. I wake up at 6:47 a.m. Emma is still asleep. I make coffee. I check my phone. 31 missed calls, 43 text messages. I scroll through them. Most are from Mom and Dad. A few are from Amanda. One is from Kyle's number, which means Amanda made him text me. It says, Uncle Trevor, Grandma says you're being mean. I delete it. I sit at the kitchen table with my coffee and read the messages in order. Dad, 3:48 a.m. The heat just shut off. It's 55 degrees in here. Mom, 4:12 a.m. We can't find the account login. You changed the passwords. Dad, 4:36 a.m. This is elder abuse. I pause on that one. Elder abuse. For stopping payments on services I was never obligated to provide. For withdrawing financial support after my daughter was publicly humiliated. For refusing to subsidize a household that treats me like an ATM. I keep reading. Amanda, 5:03 a.m. Mom says the internet is out too. What is happening? Dad, 5:29 a.m. I'm calling a lawyer. Mom, 5:54 a.m. You are going to regret this. I finish my coffee. I do not reply to any of them. At 7:15 a.m., my phone rings. It is Dad. I let it go to voicemail. He leaves a message. I play it on speaker while I make Emma's breakfast. Trevor, I don't know what you think you're accomplishing, but this is unacceptable. Your mother is upset. The house is freezing. The internet is down. I tried to call the utility companies, but all the accounts are in your name. You need to fix this. Today? Call me back. I delete the voicemail. At 7:42 a.m., Emma wakes up. She walks into the kitchen, rubbing her eyes. I smile. I make her pancakes. I ask her about her dreams. She tells me she dreamed about a giant rabbit that could fly. I tell her that sounds amazing. She giggles. We eat breakfast together. She does not ask about Grandma. I do not bring it up. At 8:30 a.m., I drop Emma off at school. I hug her tight. I tell her I love her. She skips into the building with her backpack bouncing. I sit in my car in the parking lot. I turn my phone back on. It immediately starts buzzing with new messages. I ignore them. I open my email instead. There are 3 emails from the utility companies. Confirmation of service cancellation. Confirmation of account closure. Confirmation of final billing. There is 1 email from the HOA. It is addressed to the homeowner. It states that the December payment was not received and that a late fee of $150 has been applied. If payment is not received within 10 days, further action will be taken. I forward the email to Dad. No message, just the forward. Within 2 minutes, he replies, Dad, you did this on purpose. I do not respond. At 9:03 a.m., Amanda calls. I answer this time. Trevor, what the hell is going on? Good morning, Amanda. Don't give me that. Mom called me at 5 in the morning. She was hysterical. She said the heat is off. The internet is down. Dad can't get into any of the accounts. Did you cancel the payments? Yes. Silence. Why would you do that? Because I am done paying for a house where my daughter is treated like she does not exist. Oh my God, this is about the pie? This is about 9 years of being invisible. The pie was just the last straw. You're being dramatic. Mom was just upset about the photo. Then she should have taken another photo. She should not have punished a 6-year-old in front of the entire family. She didn't punish her. She just didn't give her pie. She gave Kyle 2 slices. Kyle earned it. I close my eyes. I take a deep breath. Amanda, I have been paying $2,900 a month for 9 years. That is over $300,000. I have never asked for anything in return. I have never demanded recognition, but I will not continue funding a household that humiliates my child. So you're just going to leave them in the cold? They are not in the cold. They can call the utility companies and set up their own accounts. They can pay their own bills. They are adults. They are on a fixed income. Then they should budget accordingly. I hang up. At 9:47 a.m., I receive an email from Mom. The subject line is, "You are breaking this family." I do not open it. I archive it. I drive to work. I sit at my desk. I review blueprints. I answer emails. I attend a meeting. I function. And every time my phone buzzes, I ignore it. By the end of the workday, I have 72 missed calls. I do not care. Friday night. The calls continue. I block Mom's number. I block Dad's number. I block Amanda's number. They start calling from other phones. Neighbors, friends. Kyle's cell phone again. I do not answer. Saturday. Morning. I take Emma to the zoo. We spend 4 hours looking at animals. She loves the penguins. She asks if we can get a pet. I tell her maybe someday. We eat lunch at the cafe. We buy a stuffed penguin from the gift shop. She names it Pip. She carries it everywhere for the rest of the day. That evening, I check my email. There are 14 new messages related to my parents. The first is from the electric company. Service has been disconnected due to non-payment. A reconnection fee of $275 will be required. The second is from the water utility. Same message. Disconnection. Reconnection fee, $150. The third is from the gas company. Same. The fourth is from the internet provider. Service suspended. Account closed due to cancellation request. The fifth is from the security company. Monitoring has ceased. Equipment is still installed, but inactive. The sixth is from the insurance company. Policy canceled. Coverage terminated as of end of billing cycle. The seventh is from the HOA. Second notice. Payment overdue. Late fee increased to $300. Legal action will be considered if payment is not received within 5 days. The remaining emails are from mom and dad's friends, people I barely know, all with the same message. Your parents need help. Please call them. I delete every email. Sunday, I take Emma to church. We sit in the back. I am not particularly religious, but Emma likes the songs. Afterward, we go to brunch. She orders chocolate chip pancakes. I order coffee and toast. She talks about Pip the penguin, about how Pip is going to sleep in her bed every night, about how Pip is her best friend now. I smile. I nod. I do not check my phone. Monday morning, I drop Emma at school. I go to work. At 10:23 a.m., I receive a call from an unknown number. I answer out of habit. Trevor. It is Dad. He is calling from someone else's phone. Yes. We need to talk. No, we do not. Trevor, listen to me. Your mother is devastated. The house is freezing. We have no hot water. The internet is gone. The HOA is threatening to fine us. You have to fix this. I do not have to do anything. You are punishing us because of a misunderstanding. It was not a misunderstanding. It was cruelty, and I am not punishing you. I am simply no longer subsidizing your lifestyle. We cannot afford this on our own. Then you should have thought about that before humiliating my daughter. She is fine. She is 6. She will not even remember this. I will remember, and that is enough. I hang up. I block the number. Tuesday, I receive a certified letter. It is from a law office. I open it at my kitchen table after putting Emma to bed. The letter states that my parents are exploring legal options to compel me to continue financial support. It cites filial responsibility laws. It threatens court action. I read it twice. Then I call my own lawyer. I explain the situation. I send him copies of all the cancellation confirmations. I send him the text from Dad demanding utility money. I send him the email from Mom. I send him screenshots of every payment I have made over 9 years. He reviews everything. He calls me back an hour later. Trevor, you have no legal obligation to pay their bills. Filial responsibility laws in this state do not apply to adult children supporting parents who have sufficient retirement income. Your parents own their home outright. They receive Social Security and pensions. They are not destitute. This letter is a scare tactic. Ignore it. What if they actually take me to court? Then we will present evidence that you have voluntarily provided over $300,000 in support over 9 years with no formal agreement. We will present evidence that they mistreated your daughter. We will present evidence that you have your own child to support. No judge will compel you to continue payments. Thank you. You're welcome. And Trevor, you did the right thing. I hang up. I sit in the quiet. I think about the letter, about the lawyer fees they must have paid to have it drafted, about the desperation behind it, about the audacity to threaten legal action after what they did. I do not feel guilty. I feel vindicated. Wednesday, the cascade is complete. I receive a final email from the HOA. Payment is now 17 days overdue. Total amount due, $1,343. A lien will be placed on the property if payment is not received within 72 hours. I do not forward it to Dad. He will find out soon enough. I sit on my couch that evening after Emma is asleep. I think about the past 9 years, about every payment, every ignored birthday, every overlooked achievement, every time Emma was sidelined, every time I told myself it would get better. It never got better. It just got worse. slowly, quietly, until it exploded over a slice of pie. I do not regret what I did. I regret that it took me so long to do it. 2 weeks have passed since Thanksgiving. 2 weeks since I canceled the payments. 2 weeks since Dad's text at 10:12 p.m. The calls have stopped. The emails have slowed. There was one final voicemail from Mom last Thursday. Her voice was different, smaller, tired. Trevor, I know you are angry. I know we hurt Emma. I am sorry. I should have given her the pie. I should have taken another photo. I was wrong. Please call me back. We need to talk about the house. I saved the voicemail. I did not reply. Yesterday, I received a text from Amanda. Amanda, Mom and Dad set up their own utility accounts. They're paying their own bills now. The HOA lien was placed, but they're working on it. Are you happy? I did not respond. This morning, I received a letter in the mail, handwritten, from Mom. I opened it while Emma was at school. Trevor, I am writing because you will not answer my calls. I understand why you are angry. What I said to Emma was wrong. I was frustrated about the photo, and I took it out on her. That was unfair. She is a sweet little girl, and she did not deserve that. Your father and I have been talking. We realize now how much you have done for us over the years. We took you for granted. We assumed you would always be there, and we never said thank you. That was wrong too. We have set up our own accounts now. The utilities are back on. The bills are high, but we are managing. The HOA placed a lien on the house, but we are working with them to resolve it. We will figure it out. I am not asking you to send money. I am asking you to forgive me. I am asking you to let Emma come visit again. I miss her. I miss you. Please think about it. Love, Mom. I read the letter 3 times. I fold it. I set it on the kitchen counter. I do not know if I will respond. I do not know if forgiveness is something I am ready to give. But I know that the apology, even if it came too late, is something I needed to hear. I pick Emma up from school. She runs to the car with Pip, the penguin, tucked under her arm. She climbs into her booster seat and chatters about her day. She tells me about a boy in her class who shared his crayons. She tells me about a song they learned. She tells me she got a gold star on her spelling test. I listen. I smile. I tell her I am proud of her, and I realize that this, right here, is what matters. Not the money, not the utilities, not the approval of people who only valued me when I was useful. Emma matters, her happiness, her safety, her sense of worth. That evening, we make dinner together. Spaghetti, her favorite. She stands on a stool and helps me stir the sauce. She asks if we can have garlic bread. I say yes. We eat at the table, just the two of us, and she tells me about a dream she had where Pip the penguin could talk. After dinner, we build another blanket for it. We read stories inside it. She falls asleep with her head on my shoulder. I carry her to bed. I tuck her in. I kiss her forehead. And I stand in her doorway for a long moment, just watching her breathe. This is peace. This is closure. This is what it feels like to choose yourself and your child over obligation and guilt. I walk back to the kitchen. I pick up Mom's letter. I read it one more time, and I make a decision. I will not respond yet. Maybe in a few weeks. Maybe in a few months. Maybe never. But I will not carry the weight of their mistakes anymore. I will not let their neglect define my worth or Emma's. I fold the letter and put it in a drawer. I turn off the lights. I go to my room. I lie down in bed, and I think about the crack in the ceiling that I finally fixed last week. It is smooth now, seamless, like it was never broken at all. I close my eyes. I take a deep breath, and I sleep.